Hi guys, it's Night Fear again. Yes, you're actually getting 2 videos and hopefully 3 videos today, but we'll see. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and do my March TBR. I have several books, and I've got actually several on the Kindle that I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and get into the books that I'm going to try to, well, actually, the books I'm going to pick from that I'm going to try to read at least 10 books out of this. So, the first book is Needful Things by Stephen King. I talked about this last month. As you can see, I have started it, and it's going kind of slowly. I don't know why, because I do love this book, but I started it towards the end of February, and then I wanted to finish Aesop's Fable, so I started reading that one, and then I started reading Dorian Gray also. Actually, I think I read Dorian Gray right before I started this one. And so I was trying to read 3 books at once, and if for anybody that's read more than 1 book at a time, you know, it kind of, yeah. So anyway, so I want to try to finish this one in the next couple days so that I can get to some of the other books, and I want to finish this because, like I said, I have read this before, and I really, really, really enjoyed this book. Yeah, so anyway, and to continue with the Stephen King, I have this again on my TBR for this month, but this time I wrote the Gunslinger series, so that way if I want to go ahead and just continue with it after I finish this one, you know, then it's already on my TBR and I don't have to feel bad because I wrote it down that way. And then I have The Stand. Yes, I know, 3 Stephen King books. Well, 3 plus Stephen King books if I read more than just the Gunslinger for the Dark Tower series. But, you know. I think her name is MyReadingIsOdd. I think that's her YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. But she is actually doing a buddy read, and invited anybody that's subscribed to her to read this with her. I have not started it yet, so this will be 2 days behind, but that's okay. I can binge read one day and catch up. But she's reading the unabridged version, so her version is actually already longer than this one, so I think it'll be okay. I thought I had the same one she did, but I don't. This is actually an abridged version, but, you know, I'll read it this way the first time, and then I'll try to get an unabridged version, and then the next time I'll read that one instead. So anyway, so yes, The Stand by Stephen King. This one is 18 Years by Madison Kuhn. Yes, it's been on my TBR for the last couple months. We're going to put it on here again. This is a poetry book, and I'd really want to get into some poetry. So we'll see. And it's not that long, so with the big books of Stephen King, hopefully I'll be able to get to it. Then I have Once Upon a Dream, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. And as I was on my Goodreads adding these to the Want to Be Read, I found out that this is actually the second book. And I also found out that one of the books, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, oh, now I can't remember what the name of the book is. I think it's anyway, I added it to my stuff, but she's got a couple other books. One's a Beauty and the Beast, and the first one is actually an Aladdin retelling. But I don't know. I'm going to read this anyway if I get to it, because since this sounds like it's a Cinderella one, I don't think I have to read, or not a Cinderella, a Sleeping Beauty. Sorry. This is a Sleeping Beauty. I don't think I have to read any of the first one to get to this one. So, well, we're going to see. So, if you guys know or have read this, let me know. But I'm going to try because it looks good. And I just bought it, so. And then this one I also just bought and hauled. And this one's also part of a series. And she has, I think it's, the first one's Poison, and then I don't remember what the third one is called. But I think they're like in a, like all 3 of them are in a book, and for some reason this one, she decided to print alone. I don't know. But anyway, once again, from what I read, I think it kind of, the characters might be mentioned throughout the books. But I'm going to try to read it anyway if I get to it. And it's kind of a short one. So we'll see. But I hate when I do that. And I hate also because nowhere on this book does it say it's part of a series. And the other one either. I hate when they do that. You know, it's like, you know, it just says a wicked Cinderella tale, which makes you think that it's, you know, a standalone. So, guys, you know, authors, please stop doing that because it's really annoying. The Fifth Wave, I have this one on by Rick Yancey. I have this one on my TBR again. I will get to it eventually because I have this one and then I have the second one. I need to buy the third one still, but we'll see. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews about these books. So if I don't like this one, I may or may not read the second one and then maybe won't buy the third one. I don't know. We'll see. And then I have Me Before You again by Jojo Moyes. Some of the books I've taken off my TBR that were on there last month. Some of them I've left because I really want to get to them. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also have some... CatalystReads is doing, and I will try to remember to link his channel down below. He's doing a Rereadathon, and he's got different prompts for each month, and so I'm behind because, of course, it's March. So I decided, I went back, and in January you were supposed to do two things. You're supposed to reread your favorite standalone book and reread a favorite book in a series. So for the standalone book, I picked Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. This is one of the first books that I can remember reading. I'm not saying this is the first book, but this is one of the first books I remember reading from my childhood. I think I've read it once more since then, but I don't really remember. But I just remember loving this book, and so I thought I'd reread it for that. So that's for the first part of the January one. So I really am going to try to catch up here. But anyway, so this is Island of the Blue Dolphins. And if you guys haven't read this or have, you know, children that are getting into reading, this was such a good book. Oh, let's see. I haven't really needed to, I guess. Anyway, this one is about a girl, and it's, I can't remember if it's a Polynesian island, St. Nicholas Island off the coast of California. But anyway, her tribe lives there. And for some reason, and I can't remember, like I said, it's been a while, but for some reason, they move off this island. And she actually is left on the island. So it's kind of like a Robinson Crusoe kind of thing. You know, she has to survive, but it's with a girl. And she has to survive on her own. And it's just kind of the story of that and the things that happened to her. And it was a really good book. Okay, and then once again, this one is for the March, for this month for the Rereadathon. You were supposed to read a nonfiction, a memoir, and a autobiography, I think. And so I picked The Diary of Anne Frank. I know it's a nonfiction, but actually, I don't know. Would it be considered? I don't know. But anyway, it kind of might fit two of those categories in that. But I'm going to read The Diary of Anne Frank again because I have read it before, but it's been a while. And, you know, it's a sad book. And, yeah, so I'm going to read this. And then the last one I picked, which is actually a nonfiction book. Well, actually, I should say the last book that I picked with the books that I actually own, that I own the physical books, is And the Band Played On. Now, there is a book called The Band Played On, which is about the AIDS crisis. I had that book. I've read that book. Awesome book. I have to buy it again. But this is not that book. This is actually telling the story of the band that was on the Titanic. And it's the violinist, the 21-year-old Jock Hume. And it was the author's grandfather. So, and I have never read this book, so I thought I would try, because I want to try to read some different genres. Because if you guys notice, most of mine are horror and fantasy. And so, yeah. So I thought I would try to read this, because I really do love Titanic stories. And really just, am curious about it. And so, and this is by Christopher Ward. Oh, yeah. The Island of the Blue Dolphins is by Scott Odell. I don't know if I said that or not. But anyway, it sounded interesting. Okay, so next I'm going to try to show you, if everything will cooperate, the books I've picked to read on Kindle. Now this one is called The Asylum, and it's by Emily Autumn. And I'll just kind of read a little blurb. It says, 2 young women living centuries apart, both accused of madness, communicate across time to fight a common enemy, their doctors. It just sounded really interesting, and I just really loved the cover. I hope you can see the cover, but it's a girl's feet, and it looks like they have black and white stockings, and there's rips in the stockings. And of course, there's a little bit of blood coming off the asylum. And actually, it's called The Asylum for Wayward Victorian Girls. So, yeah, that looked interesting. Okay, so then the next one, cooperate, okay, is actually... This is, it's called No Rest for the Wicked, and it is by Dane Cobain, and Dane is actually a YouTuber. He has a channel called DaneReads. He is awesome. He lives in England, and he and his girlfriend, she's sometimes in the videos, and she's really cute too. But he actually he's not a big YouTuber, but he's a lot bigger than me. I think he's getting close to 2,000. But anyway, he actually will comment back. He will talk to you. He's a Stephen King nut like me, and it's kind of awesome to have somebody else that I can chat with Stephen King about. And he actually is one of the ones that recommended that I should read The Stand. So yes, and he actually recommended, he's written several books. He recommended that I start with Driven or Drive. Which one is it? Oh shoot, I think it was Driven. But anyway, I was reading, kind of looking, and this one sounded interesting. Let me read you this real quick, and you'll understand, I think, why I chose this one. It says, when the angels attack, there's no rest for the wicked. Father Montgomery, an elderly priest with a secret past, begins to investigate after his parishioners come under attack. And with the help of Jones, a young businessman with an estranged child, Montgomery begins to track down the origin of the angels. The angels are naked and androgynous. They speak in a dreadful harmony with no clear leader. There aren't biblical cherubs tasked with the protection of the righteous. These are deadly creatures of light that have the power to completely eradicate. When Jones himself is attacked, Father Montgomery knows he has to act fast. He speaks to the angels and organizes a final showdown where he's asked to make the ultimate sacrifice. So see, doesn't that just sound awesome? And I'm so sorry about the glare, guys. But that just, to me, just sounded like I really needed to read it. So I picked this one. And I never buy Kindle books. Never, because I always either get them for free or, I wait until they're where you can read them for free on Prime. But I actually bought this book on Kindle. And if I like it, I'll actually buy a real copy, because I'd rather really have real copies. But I have a feeling I'm going to like this book. So, but I really wanted to read one, and I don't have time this month to go to a used bookstore to try to see if I can find his book. So I picked this one. So I'm definitely going to try to get to this one, Dane, because you usually watch my videos. So I'm going to start with this one. So I hope I really like it, because yeah. Okay, the next one is another booktuber who I will also link below. His name is Ben Sanders, and he's another pretty cool guy. He does try also comment, but where Dane actually came over and actually watches my videos, Ben didn't do that, that's cool. My channel is really eclectic and not for everybody, so. But he, Ben a couple weeks ago actually had this book on Kindle for free. And as soon as he said that, I went and got it. And it's called The Demon in the Trees. And it's kind of sounds like a mystery, kind of a detective novel. I usually don't like those kind of books, but like I said, he's a YouTuber, a booktuber that I watch, so I figured I would get it and check it out, and once again, if I like the book, then I will buy a copy in hardback, or not hardback, but, you know, physical copy. Okay. And then Milk and Honey by Rippy Quar. That is also a poetry collection. It's kind of gone around YouTube. I've seen it several places, so most of you should know what this is. So we'll see. It does say it's split into 4 chapters, and each chapter serves a different purpose, and it deals with a different pain. So this should be interesting. I'm going to read it and see, and maybe it'll inspire me. I actually have written poetry in my past, but I have not written any recently. You know, and maybe I'll get on here sometime and read you guys a couple. Maybe not. But anyway, but maybe it'll inspire me to write some more poetry. So I'm kind of curious to read that. And then, like I said before, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I started this, and so I need to go ahead and finish it. It's kind of weird so far, but I mean, I think I'm only like 20 pages in or so, but I don't know. It's not what I thought it was going to be. So we'll see if it gets any better. I don't know. But anyway, so Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm going to read that one too. So, all right, guys. Well, there's my lovely list of books that I'm going to read this month. And sorry, it was kind of long. I kind of went a little overboard, but I will link all of the booktubers that I mentioned below. I'll try to remember all the ones I did mention. And let me know if you guys have read any of these books, what you think. Please go check out all the channels. Go check out Ben Sanders. Go check out Dane Cobain. Go check out, I think her name is Natasha, and I think it's My Reading is Odd. If not, I'm sorry, but I will link her channel down below. And she's pretty funny, and she's also a Stephen King nut. I love my Stephen King nuts, I tell you. Anybody that has a channel that I see that has Stephen King, as long as you like Stephen King, I will definitely subscribe to your channel. So, all right, guys. Hopefully I can come on. I have one more video that I've been needing to film, and hopefully I'll be able to, in the next few days, I want to do I've been coloring a lot in my books, and I wanted to show you I finished a couple pages, and I have started a few, quite a few, and so I wanted to show you those too. So anyway, let me stop rambling and tell you guys to please remember to be kind to each other, and I will see you next time.